get some music.
Still haven't managed to find any like decent stream music yet.
Nope. Oh, this is
yeah.
not too bad. Honestly, ain't too bad. Did you get where was your entry? What price was your entry?
164.
164. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's coming up to these wicks, but it's whether it's gonna break above this area or not. Because this was a strong level.
To see.
Yeah, we'll see. At least you can manage it, like we said. When I was breaking the high. 4 hours. Yeah, I think the weekly work film must be incoming. It's just whether this is gonna do anything. This 30-minute.
Yeah, I've got to expect some volume coming in, some sorts. Otherwise, that level's just not going to break at all.
Yeah. Yeah, looking on the 5-minute, it does seem like we could blast off, to be fair. If you catch it and I miss it, I would be like, damn. Now, see, my thought process was, that's okay, like, this situation's fine, like, could push up, but then if we get this 30-minute candle closing above here, that's a break above, obviously, Asian highs into the wicks. Be nice continuation at that point. But
yeah,
the
options to catch it.
Yeah, there's still options, and then you'll be in that trade. You know, you got that nice confirmation. Morning on everyone on YouTube. How's it going? How's everybody doing? I'm also paying attention if the 15-minute candle closes above as well, because then I can have my stop. Yeah, down below there, it's the same sort of place as you. Hello. Morning.
Toilet.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, gold is back above key level. Back in our Asian range there. Right, did we have any news today? Oh, that's a shout. Did we have any news today? I think we did, didn't we? Was it today? Oh yeah, we had GBP news. We had GDP was good, slightly better. Current account was less. So what's this? Actual is okay. So that was positive. Okay, so good news released at 7 AM for GBP. It's pretty good. I think that's why I didn't That's what I think subconsciously they were telling me there was news today.
What's that news? Was that?
Yeah, at 7. Yeah, it was GDP news, current account, HPI.
I should have been looking out for that, really.
Yeah. Oh well. Good morning. Random and off-topic question. Sorry, but I was wondering, do you know what happened to trade with Monty's morning streams? No idea. No idea. Yeah, can't tell you, man. You know, I'm sure if you wanna reach out to him and ask, just drop him a message on Instagram or whatnot. But yeah, not really sure. Can't tell you. How's everyone doing this morning anyway? What's everybody looking at? So basically, the news that we had this morning, GDP quarterly. So GBP got a little bit better. I've got the balance of payments as well. Let's take a look at the UK. The UK annual house price growth slows in March as Northwest sees strongest growth in first quarter of 2021. Okay. Let's look at the balance of payments. Pretty important. As the current account deficit, it widened. Okay. Yeah, I think this could be reacting to the news there, because it's kind of like good and bad news. I think that's why it's pulling back a little bit. Lack of volume. So the other thing that I'm looking for is this. So I just thought about this actually. Is if we get a resistance below 152 100, right? If we actually get a resistance below that level, I think we could see price coming down to like 151 890. Yeah, that's also something I'm going to be looking at. Yeah, so for sells, so my idea for sells would need to be a resistance below below 152 100. Right, and we also had an important 4-hour level at, oh, this is rejecting hard off of that area. Ooh.
Yeah, I've closed some positions already.
Okay, good.
Because maybe that move up that broke above was before the news, maybe.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
is reacting to news, bro. I mean, it is what it is. I made that same mistake last week, man.
Should be checking.
Yeah, I think you just got the first thing you got to do is when you come on the charts to check the news. 100%. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Don't worry about it. May still be okay, so hold fire. That might just be a further pullback, initial reaction to news, and then you still get your, because this could be, you know, like pretty good, because if this is your pullback initial reaction and then you actually get the 7 a.m. 30-minute candle, let's say close above here, then not only would I then look to get into bites, but at that point that was just initial reaction, initial move up, a little bit of a pullback, could continue. So I think leaving something running is going to be fine. At least get like a break even, or add the positions back on if you feel so. Okay. HFX, is GBP JPY open and volume pushed back to 8 a.m. UK time? Yes. So the London Open is 8 a.m. UK time is when London Open is. Not necessarily GBP JPY, but we say London Open. So that's when the London market volume starts to come in. Right. It looks tempting for a sell when price closed below 151.1, but I'm very hesitant to sell as we're in a strong bullish trend. And good news for GBP. When London opened, the market will absorb the news. Yes, I think maybe that's true. I think once the market London Open could, yeah, definitely absorb if it's proper good news, you know. But it's a bit tough right now. So yeah, for me, for sells, we need to be a resistance, because like you say, right, it's a strong bullish uptrend. It doesn't really make sense to take sells, does it? Because, you know, we got a lot of support. So if we get something like, you know, a clear rejection of the Asian highs, right? If we get clear rejection of Asian highs, which would be this kind of candle here, coming down, closing at support, that could be a nice rejection of Asian highs. You then get a further initial move down below this level, pull back, resistance form below this level, push down to here, and then potentially down to your bottom of the overall Asian range. That's something that we could be looking for. But it has to be a solid resistance, not a close below this level, because this is only like, see, it's an important support because it's pre-London support, and yes, we do have clean candle to left hand side, but we may get a further fake out with volume, so we may actually get the fake out situation that we usually want to see. You know, we actually get the candle closing back above, and then the next one continues with the trend. So this could be a deeper pullback at this point. So I'm not looking for a close below this area. I'm looking for some form of minor resistance to form below 152, 100. If that doesn't happen, then that's okay. Basically, that's okay. If there's some big impulsive move down, I'm quite happy with that, because what I want to see is, you know, potential resistance created below this level. But yeah, I think it's starting to reject at this point. The Asian highs. You're out of the share.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good decision.
It's only like a 6-pip loss, which is
that's not bad. No, that's nothing, mate. That's nothing. You get a nice re-entry, 20 pipper. Now just, you know, stay patient, accept it, and then try and get another trade. You're gonna be sweet. Because like I say, look, if we start rejecting here, but then we get closes back above, then you know that with 8 a.m., 7:30 a.m. volume onwards, we can continue. But obviously, like I say, if we get a resistance below that level, and the reason I say resistance is because that's going to be a stronger confirmation than just this. If we get a resistance below here, we can push down to here and further up with Asian lows, etc.
Yeah, this is probably the pullback. It just seemed like when that
Yeah,
30
lack
minute
of
was
volume.
previously closed back above, it was just like really going to head up.
Yeah, no, you know what, mate. Like at the end of the day, like you did the right thing because you're gonna learn from this situation, and you had the correct idea. So, if you then, the thing is, right? Let's say it does what it does now, but like I say, you get that further. It's just giving it a second chance. But if it does this again, we ain't coming down. Do you know what I'm saying? We ain't coming down. We will continue back up to fill these wicks. But that's what I was, a little bit. My whole concern was that we could quite easily come deeper back into that zone. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look on the 5 minute, see what's going on.
Almost looks like it could be ranging if it starts to like close above here.
If it closes at support, then yeah, we are just ranging. Then it would make more sense to wait for a close above 220 to take a buy. But if we close below that level, I'm quite happy to miss any impulsive move down because I want a resistance to that level. We have a nice clean candle as well, so let's measure this range. Let's say we get a resistance around 152.060. That's still going to give us like a 17 pip range, so I'm pretty happy with that. And if we break further down, then we're looking for complete further downside down to Asian session low. But yeah, looks like it rejected hard off of this area. Gold is trying to move up in the gold is trying to move up back in that range. But I think the best thing to do is to see if this 4 hour is going to respect this area or not. If we close above here, then yeah, we're just consolidating, and then I think 7:30 volume onwards would be pretty good. If we can get a further 15, if we get like a 15-minute candle, 30-minute candle closing above 152.220, I think that's going to be pretty good. A bit more of a bottom wick made on the 4 hour as well. Must be Lambo Roll messing with the markets. Yeah. Yeah, he basically saw a price at a key level. He sold because he wanted to stitch all of us in the stream yesterday for what we were saying about his Lambos. So he thought, it's alright, I'll lose that money. Stitched them all up. The other thing as well, if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, right, if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, then we'd be making a higher support level on the 15-minute. So we could then see the next 15-minute candle do something like that, which would be nice. Hit that closure above that area, and then expect the next one to continue with the volume. Did you close it out?
I had obviously I used the MetaTrader for my wicks, like the bottom wicks, and it never broke the low on the trading view, but it broke the lows on the MetaTrader, so that's why I just stopped.
Oh.
Because I had a bit of portions running, but I'd rather just re-enter if we get something nice than play that.
Yeah. Because this ain't closed yet either, so. Yeah, I agree with you. Don't worry about it, man. Trust me.
And if you'll be worried about if you get it closed back above like 220 or whatever.
Yeah, that would.
4 hour.
Yeah, that would be good. 220 would be good. The other thing as well, remember, bro, like we can push down below anywhere in this level, and that's what I'm saying. If we get that
Support.
yeah, even not even the support, like even if you start to see candles do this, and we're like, okay, waiting for resistance, wait for resistance. Oh, resistance never came. See you later.
Yeah.
You know where we're going. So I'm not gonna be hear this now, YouTube. I'm not taking sells because we got a candle closing below that area. It's not enough. You know, we're in a strong uptrend. Yeah, we're rejecting Asian highs right now. We're rejecting this Asian session. We're rejecting resistance, whatever, right now. But you know, impulsively, you can move down to here, here, here. It doesn't matter. You know, we are in such a heavy uptrend. At any point, we could start to head back. And then if we can't create resistance below that level, then price is going to struggle to come down. It's going to struggle, right? So either I'm looking for a close below and then we start to basically close back above that range. That will give me pretty good confirmation to say 4 hours made is bottom wick now, and then we should start to come up to fill these wicks in that range and continue on. Or we're looking for a resistance below that support is going to give a solid opportunity to look for further downside. So we'll see, because if this candle just closes in the range, then it's ranging.
I don't think I paid enough attention to your level where you've got it at the 210, because I've looked now on the frame and the hour. That's a clear level that I didn't really have. I was expecting us to more so push up to like 260.
Yeah, the other thing as well, if you go to 15-minute, you can see we exactly reacted to that level in the 15-minute. Yeah, and then we tapped into it from 7 and then came right back. So lesson learned, bro, don't worry.
I don't think there's too much to lose in the end, to be fair. It's just probably lack of volume at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. But this is what I mean. For me, whenever I see news, like, I just don't want to, you know, obviously last week I made a dumb decision, you know what I mean? But that's why I crucify myself enough that I will not take an entry where there's news. I just don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Even if you think the technicals are lining up, like the technicals lined up last week, you know, you would have thought all news could go with the technicals, but it never did. Do you know what I mean? It never did. So see, when there's news and you're in a trade, like it's almost like more a bit gambling, because you know, you can. The problem with the news is, you know, if it came out really, really bad, then your position could be stopped so quick.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what happened to me. You know what I mean? I told you, didn't it? 4 minutes, 3 minutes, whole position was stopped.
Yeah, it's not the one.
Yeah, and because you don't know whether it doesn't matter about the projections. They could have really, really great projections. If that number was shit, your position could get stopped. You know, and you just don't know until it's released. So we've got like a minute left for this candle to close over here.
Yeah, we've got to be quite skeptical about pushing up all day as well, because like, I mean, the monthly highs are like what, 152, 500 around there, and if we need to make some kind of top wick on the monthly if we're gonna, you know what I mean. So if we push all the way up, we're gonna have like no wick.
Yeah, we're at this level as well. Oh my god, I didn't even realize how strong this level was. The last time we was here, we had big issues. So that's very true actually. I suppose that's why you got, this is what being a trader is all about. Like, you got to know exactly where you are. Like, this area is a problem.
Wrong resistance level, yeah.
Weekly as well. This area hit. Where are we? Yeah, I suppose on the weekly is okay. That kind of closed bullish. No way.
Just. I think this could be a range day.
I don't know. You know, I think based off this 15-minute candle, it could start pushing up now. into these wicks, but I want to see a 7:30. Yeah, I'd like to see this 30-minute actually close above. Would be, I think a 7:30 close above 151, 212 would be solid. So let me say buys above 150. Sorry, 152, 220. That's gonna be the for buys. That's the best option. And that's the best option for me for sells at this point. When prices ranging like this, be very cautious and wait for a strong confirmation candle. Yeah, agreed. Oh. Sorry guys. Good old sneeze. See, on hay fever, feels like summer, but it's not. I mate had a fat off barbecue yesterday.
Love it.
Yeah,
that's when you know it's getting summer.
Yeah, trust. Did you do anything last night?
Nah, man, nah. Just done gym. Went to bed early. Chilled outside for a bit as well.
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it?
It was not. It was the same today as well.
Yeah, I got my leftovers of my barbecue.
Massive feast.
What do you think about end of the month trading and market structure during the beginning, end of the month? I think end of the month trading's okay. You just got to be a little bit more cautious around those times. End of the month is usually like profit taking time. Usually, you could see pullbacks. It depends. It depends really. There's no like, oh, it's guaranteed to pull back because it's the end of the month. It doesn't really work like that. And you just gotta step with a little bit of caution. Shall we say? If we look at the monthly now, we pulled back last week and now we're right back where we were the week before. So in terms of this month in particular, it doesn't really make sense where we're at. We may be pulling back to where we actually need to be for the monthly close. If the monthly actually closes above 152, where we are now, 152, 140, let's say, then we know that that's basically saying the next monthly should continue further up because of where it's closing. So this is, if you think about it, we're coming to the last monthly candle. The last few hours of the monthly candle. It makes sense that this monthly candle wants to basically get in a position, like technically, to anticipate wherever the next. Like, let's say for example we close below, then what would you expect on the next monthly candle? A big retracement, maybe down to here. If we close above, what would you expect? Continuation. Yeah, this could go at this point. 15-minute time frame looks pretty solid now. That's a shame actually, because your position might not. It didn't get stopped, or did you close early or did it get stopped?
So I closed half when it broke kind of its own 30-minute low, and then I let the other half go. But then
okay, yeah, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
I just thought what usually I do is, obviously on TradingView we see these wicks, right? And then on MetaTrader, the wicks might be slightly longer or whatever. But what I do is I focus on the price. So if I say, okay,
it should have.
Yeah, 152.062. And then if you put it at 152.062, it's going to be below the wicks on the MetaTrader. Yeah,
that's what I need to do.
Yeah, so do it that way from now on, and then that's going to stop any overlapses with TradingView and MetaTrader. That's how I do it.
the only annoying thing though, because price on your, obviously you're taking the trade on the MetaTrader, so even if I had my stops at 0.62, would literally been stopped out with spread still. So I have to put it slightly bit lower than that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the price will still be different on the MetaTrader, so it cannot break the lows. Even on the trading view, but it's still on the MetaTrader, even if you got price in the right place.
Yeah, I'd always just give it a little bit extra room anyway. It's probably best.
Yeah,
It just
I remember
kind of
that
like
time the other week where obviously you slightly got stopped out, and I didn't.
oh yeah, but like a point.
Just slightly, yeah.
Yeah, that was frustrating, man. That was hella frustrating. I actually remember that. I was like, oh, damn it. Ooh, gold. Gold pumped up over here. What's that fake out situation? Just waiting on pound yen over here. London session might not do anything today. We don't know, but I think from now onwards we should expect volume. So I think if we're doing nothing, 8 AM could interpret the situation. YouTube, you lot are very quiet today. What's going on? Come on, guys, let's get some likes on the stream over here. We're willing to look at your charts, willing to discuss anything. See, the only thing is, if we start to come down now, the first... Okay, so let's talk about this for a sec, because the first confirmation that we have, if price does want to come down, because we want to be what's the word? We want to, you know, scenario-wise, makes sense, right? If we've rejected Asian highs here, so this is resistance and rejection. So rejection, this is pre-London support. If we're violating pre-London support, then it makes sense for price to continue moving down. What I want to see though is like a bearish candle close here, right? Perfect little pullback for London open with like maybe a bullish candle closing below this level, and then a further bearish candle confirmation to say, okay, we're creating a lower resistance to here to continue price down. That's going to be the sell. If we just close below with a candle closure, I'm quite happy to miss it, because at the end of the day, yes, we're breaking a support. Yes, you know, you do this, you may continue down, but what I've truly realized is, if you do this out of 100 times, you know, a lot of the time you're going to have situations where price is basically going to close back in the range. You're going to have, you know, resistance is always going to be a solid option when going against trend. So I'm keeping a couple of scenarios in the back of my mind right now. Remaining patient, should be good, because this 30-minute candle still got like 19 minutes.
The way it's like reacting when it goes into like these wicks, it's like it's rejecting upside, rejecting downside.
Yeah, there's a volume issue here at the moment. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe 8 AM is gonna do something.
You get resistance below there, you've got quite a nice range to come down.
Yeah, because then we're making a lower high to here, rejecting Asian highs, something that we've been looking at, and then where would you target? Well, you target support, and then we should head off to Asian low, which is going to be quite a correction, wouldn't it? Because it would make sense, right? If we can't break above the range, then we're coming down. But of course we may react. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, sells is not something I'm gonna try and hold, because we could just come back to this wick here, which was the previous 4 hour, and then start to come up. And is why I want resistance, because like I say, you know, we could get a situation like this. Everybody thinks, oh yeah, sells. You know, we've seen it plenty of times where candles just close below. You get a move down. You get a move down. It looks all good, and then you start to see smaller bearish candles form, and then suddenly you get this situation go on. If it can't create resistance, then we close right back in the range. But this 30-minute candle's flipping over here, so let's wait and see. It likes this area though. It loves this wicky area. I think because we're at like key level 152 somewhere. Oh yeah, 152 is further down actually. YouTube guys, what's going on? You guys are very quiet today. No one got any questions or anything? So I might make a tea in a minute, man. My mouth is like as dry as a... Yeah, because I'm waiting for this candle to close either way, like, you know, no matter what. The only way I'm taking a buy is if the 15-minute candle or the 30-minute candle closes above 152.213. Sells are going to be a resistance. Understand the difference. Resistance. Yeah, I want to go run and make a drink in a minute. Let's just see how this 15-minute candle closes. Might as well, it's only a minute. Then I can make a nice hot drink. Doji, ooh, but it's still close bullish though. So we're still respecting market structure here. So if you did kind of hold the buys, at least you wouldn't have been stopped out yet. Well, technically speaking.
be back around the break-even point at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna. It could move up at this point, but I think at this point we should see. I think this candle closing above would be really nice. Obviously, stops are gonna be a little bit big, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll be right. Gives us plenty of time to manage it, but yeah, it's a shame because Kelsey wouldn't have got stopped out. But that's alright.
I can always re-enter though, it's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think this looks like it could start moving up at this point. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking for a close above 152, 220. Yeah, this area here to the left hand side. So you can see on the left hand side, make this nice and neat.
Yeah, that's the area I should have focused more on.
Yeah. It's a painful level, this level.
Yeah, it's definitely an important one.
Yeah, you can see how we create resistance over there late Asian, and we've been basically rejecting it since. But I'm not taking no impulses. If we start pushing up, then I'll wait for support. It's that simple, man. So guys, I know some people are going to be looking to take impulsive buys. That's up to you. But we've got like 11 minutes left. I think it's going to be good to wait for the candle to close at this point. I think we had a little bit of a pullback, deeper 4-hour wick at this point, and now we're starting to move up. How do you build a trading plan? Well, trading plan just comes with, all the things that you do in your trading. Like what's the word? Like what times you trade, how much you want to risk, what you're looking for. You just want to write that all down, get it all on one piece of paper, I suppose. I think the sells are out at this point, so we're looking for buys above 152, 220. Yeah, that's it really. That's it. You want to be looking at those type of things, I suppose. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for this candle to close over here, but it is moving up. I think we're gonna see a push to that 4-hour resistance, and then have a little bit of a pullback. On its way now. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close over here.
Yeah, me too. If it doesn't run off.
Yeah, it's just hit 4-hour resistance at this point.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get a reaction off here. Still
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, if it keeps pumping up, then it is what it is, isn't it? But I at least wanted to see a 15-minute candle closer above the area and then get more volume, but it didn't happen that way. This is how it goes. See, if there wasn't news, I think we could have, this situation would have made sense. But if there was, because there was news, it was pretty difficult. So we got like about 8 minutes left for this candle to close. I'm not getting no FOMO. This is one thing I've completely mastered, is the FOMO aspect. I do not, if this candle just runs, I've stuck to the plan. That's it. No FOMO around here. So yeah, we spoke about how to build a trade plan. I'm still in buys from 0.140, been long hold so far. Oh, nice. Pretty good. How long is the sell? There's no sells on pound yen, man. Candles are bullish. How about USD CHF? Mohammed, you need to send a chart. If you want me to take a look at anything like that, you need to send a chart. Buy what? What are you asking to buy? What does buy with a question mark mean? What do you mean? What is it you want to buy? Yeah, if this continues pumping, then we're gonna do the weekly wick fill now, as we come into volume session. But obviously we want to see this candle maybe retrace a little bit, get the entry, and then expect 8 a.m. to continue us up. It'll be pretty solid. The only way I'm taking a trade, where if the candle closes too far away and we're like, stop's gonna be quite big at this point. Like now, stops would be huge. Again, only way we're gonna get that is if we get retracement to get the 1-to-1 at least, and then that makes sense. Let's say we retrace to around like 152, 230, 220, somewhere over there. That will give us much better range, because we don't particularly want a massive stop. So we got six minutes left. Oh. Got to wait for the candle to close. Yeah, like we thought there'd be an initial reaction at the 4-hour level. Now this is where it becomes, are we going to close above to potentially continue, or are we going to start having some issues? Let's look on the 1 hour for a second. Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful. We have to make sure this kind of closes above. But this is the point we could start to see, potential further rejections. We know what happens when price moves up with the high. The same as like yesterday, we had that big move up, and then it closed back in the range. 8 a.m. candle closed above, and then we got the continuation. So we're just waiting over here. Okay, let's check out this chart from, is it Osama? Let's check out your chart quick. Oh, that's a wrong chart there. Let's do it again. See what's gone wrong. Yeah, that's all correct. So should work. Nope. Okay, you sent a wrong chart there.
I mean, it's pretty nice though, because we've got a lot of these projections down here now. So
Yes, that's it.
yeah, the stop's going to be slightly bigger.
Yeah, that's why I want to make sure this candle. Yeah, make sure it closes above that area. So you got the 30, the 15, and the 1 hour all closing above. Should be alright. We just need this candle to close above. Right, let's take a look. Fresh chart, second try. Second try. There we go. So we've got pound NZD 30 minute. If the candle closes above 1.96851, then you're already in buys, or you taking buys. So you want to see if the candle closes above. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think for further upside makes sense. Obviously, I can't see what's the left hand side, but yeah, I mean, if the next one starts to break the high, or if that one closes bearish above that level, then you can wait for a further bullish candle confirmation and then expect further upside. So yeah, looks good, but I would need to take a better look at it.
Pretty support on the 5 minute.
But you plan to take buys? Yeah, it does seem so, doesn't it?
Definitely rather it close down at like 230 or something, or maybe wait for the next candle to work down a little bit, but could miss the whole move.
Could do, but if stop's gonna be too big,
Yeah, it's not
ideal.
Yeah. How far are we going to push in it? That's the question.
We may even get the next candle coming down, and then we create like a higher time frame support over here. Who knows? Yeah, see if it closes up over here. I'm not going to be taking a buy on the close. It's too what's the word? Right, I'm going to wait to see if the next one's going to retrace a little bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a beautiful retracement. Yeah, I got in buys over there with a much better position. Yeah, so my entry, I got in at 0.16. Yeah, right over here my entry is. Right, so I go in a long position right over here. Yeah, expecting London open volume to continue us moving bullish is what I'm expecting. Stop loss is down over here. It's like 15, 14 pips below the previous 30-minute candle.
It was a nice look down. Got in at 214.
Calm. Yeah, I think we should see, because this was like a nice little retracement straight away. Take a look on the 4-hour now. Yeah, I think we're gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to obviously manage this position if we start to see potential rejections, but it should be cool. Should be good. I think at this point we could pull back into this range, but I just want to see 5-minute candles and closing back above and whatnot. But I think it should be pretty solid. But at least I got a good entry where I wanted to get my entry basically. But this is London open volume. It's going to be a little bit choppy for the first couple minutes, so just let it calm down a little bit, and then it should make its clear direction. You know, but the least we're going to do is manage this position. Obviously, if we start to see potential closes back in the range, I'm pretty happy to take things off. But we want to see a continuation at this point to be safe in our position. Yeah, that was perfect. It just kind of like just retraced straight away. I think we could.
This is pretty solid, I think.
Yeah, I think we can see a retest of like this Asian high level, and then we continue moving up. Because we may get a little bit of a pullback. It's 8 AM, right? But as long as our stop is down over here, should be good. Yeah, this is either going to be a deep boom, 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 coming right back down, and we are wrong, or it should be good. ATM, man. ATM is a deep one. Yeah, we really need to see this start to. It's only the first 5 minutes, I suppose, but we want to see if the first half, if the 15-minute candle closes back in the range, then I'm going to manage the position at that point. It's not particularly what I want to see, you know what I mean?
I've got to be careful managing this trade as well, because
yeah,
I'm taking 2 losses.
Yeah, I don't really want to. Yeah, I think as long as my stop's down over here, it should be good. But just want to be, obviously, you know, we've got clean candle to the left hand side, so it makes sense to continue back up. But you know, again, there's no guarantee. London Open can do a madness. I thought the way it was moving that it was gonna move up within like the first, but sometimes it does this. You know, it's just how London Open moves, I suppose. Yeah, I want to see a 5-minute candle basically closing back above, and then if we get that, that will be this bottom wick on the 30-minute created. Yeah, drawdown is just not my fave.
Coming down quite hard.
Mm.
Not the best.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know yet if we're gonna.
London pullback though, it's just normally does happen.
Can do anything.
Yeah.
We don't know where it wants to tap into. I'm out. It could also be a fake out. It could be a fake out, but that's the point. We don't know until it's closed, I suppose. Do we? At the end of the day, you got to be confident with your analysis. You got to be confident with what you're looking at. Obviously, it's important to note where to manage the trade, of course. So I'm not going to be stupid with it, but at the same time, I think the analysis is there right now. I think it still can go up. We're just coming back in the range. Usually that means that there's liquidity being generated. If we're going to see a big move up, then that's what's going to happen. Naturally, that's what's going to happen. We know 8 a.m. does these liquidity situations. We know it does that. We know London Open. We've seen it many, many times. But obviously, what's going to be concerning is if we do see, 15-minute candle close back in the range. That could be a concern, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't want to be too focused on smaller time frames, but I do want to see 5-minute creating like some sort of support would be good. It'd be ideal. Yeah, I mean, the best situation we want is it to respect this 15-minute low. That's what we want, really. Come on, 5-minute. Start breaking your own high. Come back above. Yeah, do your thing. Yeah, if this 5-minute starts breaking its own high, moving back up, that'll be nice. Yeah, it hasn't broken the 15-minute low yet. Sometimes it can do that and then continue. It's London Open, man. London Open can do some crazy things. Yeah, I'm just concerned about where candles close. That's all I'm concerned about. But I am obviously just keeping an eye on it. Because I've seen the type of rejection style 5 minutes that happen if we're going to start coming down. So that little bit of experience should shine. So experience tells me 5-minute candle breaking back above, closing back above here is a bottom wick being created. So that's what I feel confident and solid in. So go and take a look, because think about it then, what would we be doing? We'd be creating a higher level of support at that point. So yeah, I think this pullback is kind of necessary looking at it, because 5-minute had no structure. We just basically had this impulsive move up. This is support forming. So we'll see. Come on, 5 minutes. So if we get a nice close back above the entry point, that's pretty solid for 5 minutes as they go. Yeah, this could be the bottom wick at this point. Could be. I'm gonna stress could, because on the 5-minute now, it would then suggest that we had support formed over here. We've obviously rejected these low points here, and obviously this was like our 5-minute resistance level, and then now we're creating a high level of support over there and a higher level of resistance. I think what would make sense, if this 15-minute candle breaks its own low in the last 4 minutes, I'm going to close 50%. That would make sense to me. That 5 minute wasn't actually the best, to be fair, because then we'd be creating a resistance. Oh. Is it broken the low? Yeah, it's broken the low. It's fine. There we go. So I closed half, so the risk is a lot less at this point.
I just closed half as it broke previous 15-minute low.
Yeah, because I don't want this. If this 15-minute candle closes back in the range, then this is going to become very difficult at this point. But if we're managing risk, I'm quite happy with that, because now the loss is going to be a lot smaller at this point. Because what I don't want to see is this creating a resistance back in the range on the smaller time frames. I wanted to see this candle move back up, so that's, yes, pretty good.
Yeah, you never know, then 5 minutes could always be retesting that resistance.
Yeah.
Down, but we'll see how this closes.
Yeah, it could be. I can always add the risk back on, but right now I just want to be, risky averse. So I closed 50%, everyone on the YouTube, when the 5-minute candle broke its own low. But look at the 30-minute now. It's in the coming into the second half of the candle, and it was still not above that area. But I'm leaving the rest to run because we don't know whether we're going to get a further continuation or not. So yeah, I think it's pretty good at this to leave the rest to run. It also broke the 15-minute low there as well. Yeah, managing positions is really important, to be fair. I think we're just seeing a pullback because we're at that 4-hour resistance level, and that's why I wanted to be a little bit cautious with the buys, right? That's why I wanted to be more managing this trade accordingly. Because look at the 4-hour now. If we start to reject this area, where does it make sense for us to come down to? So we want to be careful. See how it closes in a minute's time. Imagine if this is a fat liquidity grab for the 5 minute to flip. That would be crazy. Then we know that we should be heading off at that point. But we're waiting for that close anyway. I didn't take the trade as it is the last day of the month. I want to wait for it to create the high and pull back to form support, then I can buy it up. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I think that makes sense. So 15-minute candle closed back in the range. 30 minutes still open, but looking on this 5-minute time frame, could still head up at this point. Because 30-minute actual most recent resistance is over here, isn't it? So there's still all to go. It's still all to play for, really. Where you add another position, bro. I don't know. Let's wait and see, because I don't know. Let's say like this 15-minute candle closes bullish back above here. that could be a good point. There's a couple of things, but I don't want to be jumping right back into adding a position back on just yet. Because technically, actually, we are still respecting 5-minute bullish structure on the 5-minute time frame still. So I think we could start seeing a move back up again now, actually, potentially. But I'm not gonna add it back on yet. Just gonna wait a little bit longer. Maybe if we break the previous 15-minute high, maybe. Because the only thing is we still be below that 4-hour level. We'll see, we'll see. You don't necessarily have to add it back on, to be honest. You don't necessarily have to do that. Anyway, let's just wait and see here because we don't really know yet what's going to happen. God, I need a drink soon though, I'll tell you that one.
Yeah, you never go in to get one, did you?
Nah, I just thought I'd wait.
This trade is, I mean, the area we're in is just it's a bit difficult compared to normal.
Yeah, because we're at the last day of the month, we're at the highs. But I had to give it a go. I spoke about what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a close above 620. We got that. It tapped into the 4-hour level, pulled back a bit, still close strong bullish. I was expecting a retracement, but we had to manage risk, you know, because then, you know, if it does lose, we're gonna come out with, you know, we're gonna come out with a much smaller loss than what we had anticipated. And this 5-minute candle needs to close bullish. Usually you're gonna see, right, one 5-minute candle that gives you the confirmation with London Open. Like usually there's one obvious 5-minute candle that creates the whole push with London Open. That's the usual situation.
This could be the one. If it gets to close above that resistance in a 5-minute, yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, this 5-minute candle looks like it was a fat liquidity grab, which probably should have been expected considering that we were trading above that area. Let's take a look.
I think I'll get a re-entry if the 15-minute closes above 260.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense for me.
Yeah, while there's 15 candles open, I don't think I'm a re-enter because the previous one did close back below. But as we know, like 15-minute candle is a weaker fake out it's a weaker fake out situation. So looking on the 5-minute, that 5-minute candle closed strong bullish. So I think we still can continue up at this point actually. Looking at the 15 is now bullish. 30 minutes back above that area. So we'll see. I'm still in this trade with 50% still running, so So you do have to be very careful with these situations. But the good thing is we can see market structure on the 5 minute already formed. Morning Mo, how's it going? So I've just seen your message there. Yeah, looking on the 5 minute, at least we're seeing these high level supports being formed over here and then now over here as well. So I think once we basically break through these wicks here, we'll get that push up. You know what? I'll be happy with like even half position still going TP. You know, targeting the weekly wick fill. I still think that's going to be a good idea. There we go. So 15-minute candle is moving bullish. It's about to break the high of the previous 15-minute candle. So I think we should start to see a move up at this point. 30-minute candle also flipping back. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add another position on, to be honest. I think I'm just going to let this position run. So how much did I lose? I only lost £23 on the other half position. So if price still goes my way, you know, I mean, I can still get like a £70, something like that trade, which is going to be pretty good too. Yeah, I mean, and then if we get an entry tomorrow, I think that's going to be solid week. Hopefully 3 wins here this week. Yeah, if we break the high of the previous 30-minute, I think we're going to be off at that point. Yeah, it seems like we just needed a bit more liquidity to be generated, didn't it? Well, evidently,
yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, evidence is there in it because, you know, this candle came down, it broke the low on the 15-minute, basically came back to this Asian high level, rejected it, and now we're coming back above. 267 wick, we should be good. Moving my stops to previous 15, so only 7 pip stop loss. Yeah, I was just about to say, once we start breaking the previous 30-minute high, I'm going to start to potentially bring my stop below the current 30-minute candle. I think we'll be alright, but I might just wait for it to close here. There's no rush. There's no rush. You know, what I don't like doing is when you move your stop loss and then you see the next one and you get all scared and then you want to put it back. Like, just leave it how it is and then just deal with it. Hopefully push to 0.300. Yeah, I'm trying to take a look. So we have like a, let's take a look left, see. So we have like a rejection at like 308. Potential rejection like 308. Yeah, I'm expecting us to come up to, I'd say like 400 is going to be a good target.
That's my TP's at 400.
470 is like the ultimate target. But I think as a half position, 400 should be pretty solid. That's going to be like 18 pips. Yeah, so I'm going to put a partial TP at 0.400. So 152.400. And let's set that. Awesome. So we've got the partial TP set. Price moving into profits now. Got around 6 pips profit here so far.
If I can come out with a break-even day here, I'll be happy, to be fair.
Yeah.
If I can get 400, that'll pretty much take me to break-even.
I'll be happy with just this half position to run and have a nice win, to be honest. That'll be pretty solid for me. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, if this 15-minute candle closes bullish above these highs, then I think we're going to see the next one continue moving up. But let's remain patient anyway. because we know what can happen in the last 5 minutes. A lot can happen in the last 5 minutes. If this candle closes bearish, as long as it closes above 152.220, then it's fine. If it closes back below, probably just going to close the trade at that point. Ooh, look at this 5-minute candle. Yeah, because if this 5-minute candle, if this 15-minute candle breaks its own low, then this could be a fat off rejection. So I suppose we have to wait to see how the 30-minute candle closes over here. This is going to be the only option. Boom, boom, boom. Hopefully push to 300. Yeah, I think 400 is my half TP, and then I think I'll try and let the rest run to like 470. Do the weekly wick fill. Well, weekly wick fills at like 152.550. Now I'm not sure if we're gonna definitely get up there today, but I mean it would be nice if we could, of course. Pretty solid move. Or if this 5-minute candle flips, maybe we could be off in the last few minutes.
At least the 1 hour looks good though.
Yeah, 1 hour does look good. I agree with that. 1 hour's made its bottom wick. We created support over here, continuing up. But these situations, these are always the most difficult to deal with when it's like you're at high points that there's just so much reaction at. I find them pretty like difficult to manage. You get a lot of pullbacks on the smaller time frames. Your candles kind of go into profit, then pull back on you. So yeah. Ideally I want this candle to close bullish, you know, but if it closes bearish, as long as it closes above 220, I'm fairly happy with that. Fairly happy. Just the 15-minute isn't really like looking great. Come on, you can do better than that. I really thought this 5-minute was gonna go the last minute and a bit, so we'll see if it will. Yeah, we need this 15-minute candle to close above this minor resistance created here. That's what we need. Because if that doesn't, then the 30 would close bearish, and we could be sitting in a little bit of further drawdown again. So come on, do your magic. Come on, 30-minute candle. Struggling, man.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a 15-minute close above this area at least. Like,
yeah,
260. Otherwise,
yeah, I want this 15 to close where it is. No. As long as it closes above that little minor resistance, that's fairly solid. Okay, it did. That's pretty good. Okay, so 30-minute candle closed bullish after wicking down. Hopefully if the next one can start breaking the highs, we can see that continuation. I think if people are looking to add positions, this could be an option. But for me, I'm not going to add anything onto this trade. I'm just going to let the rest run. Yeah, I'm just letting the rest run at this point. Yeah, I think if I let the rest run, then that will allow me just to, you know, in case the trade doesn't win, then it will allow me to keep a higher rate of, you know, profit.
I'll tighten my stops a little bit below the previous 30 minute now.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm not gonna do that just yet. I'm not gonna do that just yet. Just see how this candle sets up. See if it can start pushing up, breaking the highs over here. If it can, then I think we're gonna see this blast off here. Should be nice. It's 8:30 now as well. We usually see a bit of extra volume pushing in at 8:30. Is playing around the 4-hour resistance to the left. Yeah, I know it is. But that's fine. That's fine. I think it's like yesterday's. It was a little bit of like a slow grind. It was, you know, just trying to edge up. But then you get a little bit of volume come in later. So be patient with it. Yeah, be patient. I think based on where we're closing now, it does make sense to continue. But I suppose you can never like say 100%, can you? So I think overall, yeah, we just gotta keep an eye on it. See if the candle's still breaking above the highs, whatnot. I think once it breaks the high, I'm gonna put my stop below here. That's what I'm gonna do. Because if I suppose if this is the bottom, if this is the 1 hour bottom wick, then we shouldn't be coming back here in the second half, should we? What do you think about the 4 hour? I think that it could be a problem, but like I was trying to say is I'll manage it if we see problems at that level, because I'm targeting further upsides, I suppose. But yeah, I mean the smaller time frames look like they want to continue, but if if we want to be risk averse or whatever, yeah, do you know what? I think I'm gonna bring my stop below the previous 30-minute candle. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because if we are gonna react to this 4 hour level, then yeah, man, don't really want anything to do with this. We're still making higher lows, higher highs in 5 minutes as well. So I don't know. See, this is where I was a bit weary about adding a position, to be honest. But now, like, we had a bit of profit coming back into drawdown. Just yes, man, oh man. Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. It's broken the 15-minute low at this point. That's probably not the best outcome.
Took off another half at this point.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
The loss as small as possible.
So from your entry, you could have got like 12, 13 pips, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, I would have ran. That's the thing. I would have probably closed out at 260.
Yeah, that could have made sense. Or at least gone break even and closed half, maybe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just if there was no news, it wouldn't have been so much of a problem. But yeah, this looks like this is rejecting now. Yeah, it does seem like we're rejecting. Plus, we've just closed below that 5-minute support area. It's not the ideal situation. Yeah, 1 hour's pulling back at this point. Yeah, this is not looking good. I think I'm gonna close this trade in a sec.
I'm out fully now. I just
Yeah.
don't see this coming up. I mean, it looks like rejection at this point.
Oh yeah, I got stopped. I got stopped before I could even close early. But that's okay, because I only come out with a minus 54 loss anyway, so it's pretty good. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the buy didn't really work out there.
2 £30 losses today.
Yeah, it's alright.
Still on profit for the week though, so.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still up for the week. So there we go. Yeah, got stopped out. We are 4-hour resistance, hence a reaction. I know we're at 4-hour resistance. We was at a 4-hour resistance yesterday, but we still pushed through it. So, you know, you got to look at your most recent price action as well. But I understand that, and that's why I brought the stop loss, reduced the risk, closed half, didn't add a position back on, and only came out with a small loss. So it's perfectly fine. So I think overall, on a 1-lot position, I came out with, have a look, minus 54. What's minus 54? What's 54 from a 1-lot? So 6 pips, something like that. Not even that, it's like 5 pips, 5-6 pips. Just put 5 pips. Yeah, minus 5 pips there. Oh, gotta change it. GJ buys. But did manage risk. That was important. Yeah, managing risk was really, really key. Yeah, 4 hours now rejecting that area. 1 hour is also rejecting. So I think at this point, I think it's gonna need to be, if it was a second chance buy, it's gonna need to be above 152, 260. This area right over here. Yeah, this is coming down now at this point. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But if we do reject that area, right, and then we start to create resistance below 152, 100, then it makes sense to look for downside, right? Is anyone else's Instagram not working? Mine ain't working.
Good one's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe we like got rid of the app and swiped up on it and then gone back into it.
No, I just don't know why.
Close it.
Oh yeah, I'll do that now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so tomorrow is the last day I'm gonna trade anyway. Tomorrow is the last day. And then Friday I don't think we're gonna have a stream on Friday. I think we're gonna have the day off, bank holiday. Yeah, to be fair, the way that 30-minute candle closed, I know it
I
closed
see that
bullish.
often.
Yeah, and it
Where
just
it closes
always
like
comes
that.
down.
Yeah. I think we needed that 15 minutes to close above 260. Otherwise, it just wasn't ever going to head up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard doing it. Like you said yesterday, we got the 4-hour resistance really. It broke really easily. Today it was just like a pain.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, some days it's gonna just smash through it. Other days it's not. But it depends.
Yeah.
The thing is like whenever I see a 4-hour level, I'm always aware of it, right? And we was aware of this level, and you know, like we said, is if price isn't gonna break through it, right? Then we're not gonna what's the word? Like if price isn't gonna break through, we shouldn't close above that area. We would at that point close below because we've basically tapped into it and rejected. Now we closed above most recent resistance, whatever, and then continued. That would basically then just suggest that we got a lack of volume. You know, but if you really think about it, like, how do we get a wick fill? Okay, so if this is 4-hour resistance, well, how does the 4-hour wick get filled then? How does this get filled? Well, clearly it's when price breaks above the resistance to left hand side and continues on smaller time frames. But there we go.
Morning, Slim. How you doing?
Morning, Salim. Yeah, the only thing I would say maybe is that I could have got in here, but it's that new situation, because then we could have gone break even or whatever, or even just bag something at that 4-hour resistance level.
Yeah, the only thing I could have done differently, I'd say, is obviously like moving my stop loss on the MetaTrader, but unless we got closed below like 100, then I didn't need to close any positions.
Yeah, that's the thing. You never got to close below that level. It just came back to it. Just came back to this wiki area.
Yeah, then I would have held the whole thing and caught up to 260, and probably that would have been it for the day.
Yeah.
And then maybe on the re-entry, I should just wait for a close above 260 to play it safe. But it still was a strong like 30-minute closing above that 220, so thought it would looking like a good idea.
Yeah, plus obviously we were seeing these rejections over here as well.
Yeah.
which usually signals that you'll see like big moves up.
You may just see us consolidate now between 100 and 260.
Yeah, probably for a little bit. Yeah, we've got 1 hour left on the 4 hour. It depends, doesn't it? Ooh.
We've still got New York. Might move down.
Yeah. The only other trade I'll be taking is potentially re-entry above 260. Maybe a support above there, or resistance below 152, 100. Because if we are going to reject the 4 hour level and then we're going to see an end of the month pullback, I'd want a resistance below 100 to continue down. End of the month, no trade, just chilling. That's good.
I'm done for the day now anyway, so
Yeah, I think
still got one day left.
I think I'm probably done for the day too. Just call it a day today and then see what tomorrow brings.
And grab some food, I think.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Food.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some drink in a minute. Give it 5 minutes. Exactly what I'm looking for. Some solid support after 260. Okay, that's pretty good. Take a look. So was this your trade, was it? Okay, so Asia support created at Asian low. Okay, broke above Asian high. Time to getting it closed. Okay, entered after minor pullback. Move stops from previous 30 to previous 15. Stopped at a minus 3 pips. Stops. Wait. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty good. I think looking back, could have potentially got buys. I think for me as well, could have got buys over here once we got that 15-minute closing bullish with stops over there, and then like looking to target these wicks and further on, because then it would have allowed us to like not get caught in this. That's the only thing I'm gonna think about there, but it was a little bit difficult. But yeah, I think we had the same idea. So basically, I think looking back, maybe could have got a buy once we basically closed bullish right over here. With stops below that area, it'd been like 9-10 pips, and then we basically had, yeah, I mean at that point we'd have got like 13-12 pips. I think that makes sense. Usually end of the month has a lot of volume, but today is different. Yeah, today just choppy. 4 hours still bullish, daily still bullish. I was really expecting daily to continue this move up to like 152.470. I think we're just having some problems there at the moment. A little bit of stalling. A little bit of stalling going on. Man, if this 30-minute candle respects 152.220, then this whole move down was basically a fat off liquidity grab. I'll have to see where this closes, man. Would you look to sell below 152? No, I would only yeah, below 152. I think below 152 100, but a resistance. So If that means it comes down to 152, pulls back, creates resistance, then it would make sense to take a sell. Over here though, selling down over there is, yeah, it's not going to give you enough range. 152 is here, and then it's like a 10, 11 pip range. I'd rather see a resistance below this pre-London support level. I think we're respecting 220. So if I'd never moved my stop loss, how funny if I never would have got stopped out. Yeah, let's see how this candle closes. We don't really know until we see the candle closure. But it is creating a further support over here. One hour candle's back flipping bullish. 4 hour candle also back bullish. Oh man, GJ's playing games today. Yeah, if it closes back below 220, then yeah, this is a fake out situation. So we'll see how it closes. Once it closes, I'm gonna go make a liquid drink. Oh, look at this. Yeah, now we're coming down. Big rejection on the 15-minute time frame there. Yeah, I think we did well then to get out when we did. Yeah. Difficult. Yeah, so it looks like price even closed back below Asian highs over there. So yeah, this is clear rejection now at this point. Yeah. There you go, guys. There's no buys at this point. There is no buys on GJ. So it's just a range at this point. So yeah, like I said, if price creates a resistance below 152 100, I think that could be a good opportunity to look for sells. But apart from that, I wouldn't be looking for anything, because if we are rejecting the Asian highs, etc., then there is a probability that, you know, price will come down and basically fill this wick. Kind of like these high reaction points. Right, I'm gonna go make a drink. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. And yeah, answer any questions you guys have got maybe. But yeah, I think for me, I think today is done. The one opportunity I gave buys. If there was no news, I would have been buys from over here. If there was no news, but there was, so didn't want to take that. But then, still looking back, could have waited for the news to calm down. No, I think this was the best opportunity to get in buys, actually, looking back. This could have given us like at least 11 pips to there, to at least 4-hour resistance. Okay, so if we look at, where's our 4-hour level? So 4-hour level was right here. And if we measured that in terms of risk reward to push up to there, it's like 11, and then it would have been around a 10 pips. I think that would have been the best position to be in the market today, from there to there, looking back. So I think obviously we had 7 AM news, wait for that 7 AM candle to calm down, left this wick, pull back. Once we got that further support create, could execute it there, stops below this level here. Yeah, would have got a little bit close, but they would have been fine, because then the next 15-minute candle basically pushed up and tapped into 4-hour resistance. So I think that would have been the best possible play for the session so far. If you want to put yourself in the best position, that probably was the best position. But obviously, because of the news, I accepted that, wait for a close above 220 to left hand side, got that. And yeah, it just seems like we just had basically some issues at this 4-hour level, and I think that there was just some, it's kind of like what do you call it, you get reactions, sell-off reactions at this level, and that's kind of what's happened. But we may still push up, but yeah, I think that was where, I think from a logical standpoint, that was the place to be in a buy, looking back. But that's okay, every situation is a learning opportunity, right? Right, yeah, I'm gonna go make a drink, guys. I'll be back. Bear with me. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. So the 4-hour candle's coming to a close in around 40 minutes time. I mean, the funny thing is like the market structure still looks like it wants to head up, but I think this was just maybe we got caught an initial pullback. But anyway, we'll see. I think the funniest thing is we got stopped out because the stop loss was originally down over here.
Yeah, way down there. Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's back at our entry again. In fact, I'll be back up like 5 pips at this point. Yeah, because what I was saying was, I don't know if you was getting a drink or whatever, but I think the best opportunity that we could have had was actually once we basically missed. So basically, you know when you got in the... Oh, look at this now. It's GJ off at this point. Pound is moving up. If it starts breaking above the highs, I think it's going to be off now at this point. So the whole idea was correct. We just got caught in another pullback, 8 a.m. pullback.
Yeah, further pullback.
Yeah, it was a further pullback.
Say on the 15-minute you thought after we had that initial bearish candle. Yeah, we closed back above again. Yeah. Yeah,
because so 7 a.m. news was this candle here. So you had your news closed, whatever. Next one came down, created support, higher level support then to there. Obviously we were looking at, you know, this so basically if you think about it, right, from here, once you created support, it made sense to push up to the 4-hour resistance, which was at 265, wasn't it, right? So I mean, if you think about it, that was your trade, there to there, close half, go break even, you get stopped, no problem. That was the first part of the move, right? Obviously when this kind of situation happened, for me, it kind of said to me, like, you know, resistance was at 220. The actual resistance was at 220, which is 7 pips away. Didn't make sense to take a buy there. Made more sense to wait for price to close above this area and continue. Sorry, the 220 level. We waited for that, and then obviously we've had this pullback from the 4-hour. So I think looking back, how would I like to if the same situation occurred, I'd like to reapproach it with a buy here, stops below this level here, look to take it up to the 4-hour level. Obviously we got there, closed 50%, other half got stopped to break even, and then you know, I think we would have then missed this whole pullback thing with the 8 a.m. situation. I think it's just because we're at this 4-hour level, we didn't really close above it. We came to it, and I thought that we would break through based on smaller time frame structure. We had the pullback, and then now we're looking like we want to continue. But I think we've done the right. Like the trade wasn't it wasn't a bad trade at all. You know, the entry was good, everything was fine. Oh, Salim's off. See you, Salim. You know, the entry was fine, everything was fine. It's not that. It's just if you want to put yourself in the best position, that was the best position. The only difference with that is, yes, the 30-minute wasn't the best candle at all, right? So the 30-minute candle was a bad candle closure. So I agree with that. So like buying on this candle, you know, some would argue, is that a good or a bad idea based on the fact that, you know, it is you know, a weak doji, could have easily come down to break the lows, which it did try to. But again, you know, I think maybe you could have, yeah, I still think that was the most valid option. So you're taking the entry there, pushing up to 4-hour resistance, you got 11 pips there, and then I think you know, gone break even, whatever.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have made a difference whether you got in where I got in or that 15-minute, because it's still come wick down again to that area. So as long as you had your stops safely, as I did, and held it, I think it would have played out just as I expected.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to learn the lesson, you know. The idea was correct. Like this buying above 220 was correct. We had a clean range above 220. Obviously, you know, we're having reactions at the 4-hour level, so we know that. But I think I think there was a couple of like factors that contributed to today. So obviously the fact that we had a strong move up in Asian could suggest low volume in London, which is what we are seeing now. End of the month, another thing, last day of the month, so definitely that as well. And the final thing is obviously we are coming into a strong a strong rejection area on the daily. So I mean, all that being said, I think the best place we could have put ourselves in was that 15-minute support. Once the news candle calmed down, wait for support. We got that. Even could have looked at the 5-minute after that. So it was like 7:15. Let's take a look what happened. So I think even could have bought on this 5-minute candle, right? When you're taking a buy. So the news was, sorry, where was the news? So news was 7 till 7:15. So that was the, okay, yeah. So this candle here, this would have been your buying candle, this 5-minute candle there. If you didn't want to sit through the drawdown of the next wick, whatever, you see this weaker 5-minute close, you see the 15 closing as it was, etc. And then this was your situation to push up from there. That was the buying opportunity there, and then move up to 4-hour level there. But yeah, difficult today. Looks like it wants to break above that area now. 30-minute time.
We're getting a buy, do you reckon?
I think I'm gonna leave it because it's the last day of the month. I don't want to think I give a trade 2 chances on the last day of the month. I think it's gonna be, plus the stop's gonna be like 15, 16 again. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it till tomorrow at this point.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
And then if it plays out, you know it worked out anyway. If we held the full position that's on that entry,
yeah,
then it would have still played out. So
yeah, I think we done well to like manage the trade because obviously it basically came back to this support to generate more liquidity. But yeah, like you say, like if I kept stops exactly where they were originally and just left the trade to run, it would have ran. So yeah, exactly. But this looks like it wants to continue now. But you can see the structure as well on the 15. Like, we had this, now we got this going on. This was a bit difficult. This was just another pullback situation at that 4-hour level. But yeah, if anyone's looking to, if anyone's gotten buys over here, then I think you could see a nice move up at this point. Structure on the 1 hour looks solid as well, actually. 4 hour, yeah, 4 hours on its way now, man. Yeah, for me though, I'm not really keen on a re-entry today. I took my one trade, managed the trade, didn't work out, but technically it did, but there you go. So from the actual entry, 220, 216 I got in. Oh, I would have got like 10, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, to a certain extent, like, you want to leave this, I did say, like, I would leave stop losses where they are, let positions run. That was always my plan. But on this occasion, I think it was worth closing the trade because if you think about it, this also was Asian high, and we basically closed back below Asian high as well. So this whole situation doesn't really, yeah, it's a difficult one. Anyone get a re-entry? Yeah, I think just like today, just feeling disciplined, like you got the reconfirmation to take further buys, but it's the last day of the month. Am I gonna force a second entry? Not really forcing it, but am I gonna like jump right back in? Probably not. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. You always take one trade a day, win or lose. Pretty much. There's some days I will give trades like 2 chances, but today's not one of those days. If this was I don't know. If this was just a normal Wednesday, I'd say yes, but it actually is the last day of the month. Actually is the last day, like you got actually 12 hours left on this monthly candle. So, you know, I think looking at it like that, are you gonna give the buyers 2 chances on the last day of the month? Probably not. Well,
yes, not. I am.
Oh yes, you are. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah, but your first.
It was a solid re-entry. I thought.
Yeah, yeah, but your first one was like unfortunate because it should have won. Like you should have, like if you just get the stop in just a little bit.
Yeah, I'll look back at that, and there's a few things like obviously the news. It would be, and then there'd be the wicks, and letting it just play out.
Yeah, I think with the news, if we just waited for that 15, you could even took an entry. Better entry over there, like even got an even smaller stop, whatever you wanted to do. But yeah, I think today's just a character building learning day. But yeah, no, your first one should have been a win. Your first one should have been a banger. I think you could have, like you were saying in it, you were like targeting 4-hour resistance, so your idea completely was valid. It completely worked.
And then I wouldn't have took the second trade, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. You would have just taken, you know, you could have closed half, gone break even. That would have been solid. $100%, that would have been solid. Is GJ gonna run off? Is GJ gonna go at this point? And I analysed GJ at around 1 PM UK and made my entry of TP and stop loss when I'm up this morning plus 200 GBP. Nice. This happened lots of times to me. I think I found a good strategy for myself. Pretty good. Well done there. Nice to hear people doing well. Very, very nice. So yeah. So I think looking back, like there's I think today is a great example of like the level of, you know, like the attention to detail, effectively. You know, like news came out at 7. Wait for the news candle to calm down, then wait, see support forming, taking the buy, push up to the 4-hour resistance. You could even just been done there, man. Like 11 pips on a Wednesday, last day of the month. That ain't even a bad shout. That's what I'm thinking could have been the best opportunity for me. The best opportunity. A good opportunity was a buy above 152.220. The reason why is because even though people are going to say, oh, I didn't play out, well, it did. Because if you kept stopped below that candle there, did we break that low and did we break down below that level? No, we didn't. So technically right now, if you know, with the entry that I had, I'd be up around 10-11 pips right now. Yeah, I would have sat through 1, 2, 3, nearly an hour and a half worth of drawdown, but it's on its way now. So if you got in on the close over there, you're up around like 5, 6. I think 400 was the target for me earlier on. So I think 400 could be incoming. 152, 400. You know, and then this is the other thing as well. If you took a trade, you took a buy and it didn't work out, and you see price going in your direction, don't be disheartened that you took a loss and it went your way, right? Be strengthened by the fact that your analysis was correct. So now go and see what went wrong within that. You know, that's what I look at. I look at, okay, so the analysis is correct. You know, everything was correct, but where did the problem lie? Is it the execution? Was it the position? Right? So that's what you got to figure out, because once you figure that out, you're gonna save yourself, you know, a lot of like frustrations and unnecessary like stresses about, you know, that you're taking losses. Hey, that was a quite a deep 1 hour pullback, to be fair. I think GJ is on its way to 0.400, 152 400. I think it's on its way to do the weekly wick fill as well. Four hours now, moving on. So the whole idea was correct, you know, just remember that. Yeah, this is gonna go up. Yeah, this is gonna go to 0.400 over here. 152 400. So if you got in on the re-entry, then yeah, moved around 8. I think 400 is pretty good. Okay, let's answer these questions. Would you have waited for the 15-minute candle to start breaking the high of the bodies to catch the buy after the news candle? Isn't that too small of a range? Appreciate your response. Yeah, it was a pretty small range, but if you think about it logically, we had 4 hour resistance at 260. Oh yeah, look, 400 is reached. 152 400. There you go. So anyone take those re-entry buys? It's like 12 pips already. Yeah, so it was what I've waited for. Yeah, so for me, I think once this 15-minute candle basically closed bullish, it's up to you how you could approach that situation. Me personally, I like to either just get in on the close or let the next candle create a bit of a bottom wick. Judging probably made a top wick first. I would have thought, came down then flipped. So I think probably the best option would be just getting on the close, stops below this area here, nice conservative place, and then yeah, looking to push up to the 4 hour resistance. So I know the range wasn't big because obviously resistance on the smaller time frames was here, so you had there to there. So yeah, not a big range, but if you think about it, it's either there to the 4 hour resistance, 11 pips, and be done, or basically what we were kind of looking at, and then having to hold the trade from stops over there, or you could even argue that you wanted to see like a support formed above that 260 level, which also would have been a valid idea to take. So that's what I would say. I took 0.5% if my trade after 30-minute close bullish off my trade. Took 5. Okay, should I wait for 1 hour to close before adding another? That's up to you, man. I think the 1 hour still got a bit of time left to continue moving up. So I think if you didn't have an entry,
we hit 400, didn't we?
Yeah, it literally tapped 400 perfectly. Exactly where I was gonna close most of my position. Yeah. I think this is going to want to make some support, isn't it? You could wait for the 1 hour candle to close, but that's up to you. But yeah, I think 400 could start to see price coming back down below potentially if this is a rejection style candle. So yeah, I think if you caught the re-entry, you could have got yourself 12 pips or whatever just then. But I think at this point, you're going to need further support to form for price to continue anywhere further up. So yeah, 15-minute candle closed bullish, but it closed no wick to the bottom, kind of like a rejection style candle. You'd need a further support to form on like the 5-minute time frame at this point. Yeah, I just think we needed a lot more liquidity to be generated. I think we can clearly see that because obviously here it all started, the liquidity being generated. We basically made a higher high to here, high level of resistance over there, pull back again to create some further support, high level of support there, then to there, then we pushed up again.
Yeah, you could have even got in on that 15-minute there.
Yeah, that would have given you like 22 pips. Only thing is, it would basically be a complete expectation of resistance to break, continuation. But I think at this point, the way that it's moving now, I think it needs to create some support. Otherwise, this is going to come right back in the range. It's funny how it literally tapped 400, exactly where I said I'd be securing positions.
If you got in, you would have caught about 12 max.
Yeah, 12 pips, yeah. This is like 11 with spread and whatnot. Yeah, I'm pretty happy I stayed out of it, to be honest. Pretty happy about the trade I took. Realised where could have got a better entry, and I think that's it.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Leon. How's it going?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Thank you.
How's your month? How have you found this month?
I think March was pretty tough. A lot of like pullback situations. But I'm gonna go through. So we do like a end of the month review webinar for each month. So we'll be going through all the trades of March, but I think April is going to be a lot better. I think April will be a lot better. I've been looking. March was about testing a few different things out for me as well, like a few different style of trades, and I think I've found the way that I want to do it now, like for good, like consistently now. So yeah, I think March has been like a character building lesson month, and I think April will be much better, and then heading towards the summer, I think these next few months should be really good. What about you? How was your March?
Shit, mate, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been the problem I've got is I've been like the most disciplined, the most patient I've been, this month, and I took a bit of a hit at the start of the month and haven't really recovered, to be honest. But
Right. Okay.
I've learned a lot this month, so
Yeah, that's the main thing.
as a positive. But
Yeah.
I could have done with seeing some,
Yeah.
better percentage. But I have struggled this month, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, see, whenever I have like a bad week or whatever, the best thing to do is just to completely like revise it and like review the whole, everything that you've done. So I think, a bit of a job this weekend for you would be to, get all your trades that you've taken and go through the whole lot and see where you could have, how you could have caught either the winning trade or how you could have got a better entry, and then see if there's any inconsistency or see if there's any consistent mistakes you're making, and then say to yourself, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. Like one consistent mistake that I would make was sometimes I'd be getting in early when there was no pullback, and then I'd be in the trade and then I'd get caught in the pullback, right? So now there's one thing that March has taught me is, if unless I've seen a pullback, I'm not looking to take a trade. So like, for example, this area here, this was the pullback for price to continue. Sometimes we get another pullback at 8, which is what caught me out today. But overall, usually, I'm looking for potentially when I like to take the trade 7:30. Have we seen a pullback before that? If we have, then I'll be confident. If we haven't, then I'm like, we could see it coming. So that's one of the biggest things that I've learned for this month. So I think, just go back and look through. Obviously, if you want to send me all of them or whatever you want to do, I'm happy to take a look as well. But so I think.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen my type of trade, the type of setup that I take. I wait for the candle to close and then break the high.
Yes, I've seen that.
And it normally works okay, but this month it's just been break evens or losses.
Yeah, see, I used to see that was exactly there was a point where that was the exact entry style that I used to take all the time, and I found that it either works out really well, or it's kind of like it's very, I don't know how to say it, it's like delicate, because it can either work really well or can completely go the other way.
Yeah, it can either, as soon as it breaks that high, it can either just fly or it can just start pulling back quite quickly.
Yeah,
so I mean, you are buying. I am buying at the high, but it's I'm kind of waiting for that extra bit of confirmation where it breaks the high.
Yeah.
But it can go. It can go quite quickly, or it can go bad quite quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think with that as well, it's like situations like this where we're at strong 4 hours as well. This is the times that you can see them deeper retracements from levels. I've been caught in those type of situations a few times. So that's why I've just kind of like I shifted away from that personally, and then what I looked at is not necessarily like, because sometimes I look for closes. The closes are great. That's a strong confirmation is always going to be a close above a key level or below a key level. One of the things that really helped me was trying to identify, maybe where price makes a high, wait for a retracement, and then look for some form of support to form, because that's going to give you like a more like a safer option. Because when you're buying up at the high, let's say for example, this would have been buying technically at the high. Obviously it moved up 12 pips and then pulls all the way back, right? So you have to treat this trade very differently to another trade. This sort of trade, you'd probably want to go break even pretty quick to save yourself, right? But then there's other times that let's say that you're taking a 30-minute close break of the high, but you're not at the highest point of the month or the week. You know, you're down at the lows. That's probably, you don't need to manage that as bad. But because we're back at the highs, you know, it's the end of the month. Let's just say for today's example, if you look at this monthly candle, we're basically right at the high point of the monthly candle. So that being said, you could argue that we're in the top of the point. So you'd have to treat that trade slightly different compared to I don't know, let's say you had buys from somewhere over here, you know, on a smaller time frame there. You're not in a position to, you're in a better position of the market than, you know, above here, basically. So you just kind of got to like realize where you are, and then it's like that's what's gonna treat it.
I mean, I know I'm buying at the top, so I'm aware of that. But you know, that's the type of trade where you say, you know, break and retest. That is what I want to start trading. But it's something that I have to see before I build that confidence in that trade, because I don't really take it too much.
I think keep going with it for a bit. You know, just look at what's going well, what's going wrong. Obviously, I'll take a look as well. And then, you know, there's always going to be something that you might see that's going to be like, okay, well that could have been avoided, or maybe you're looking on the smaller time frames to see, are we getting a support form, might be a safer option. You know, things like that can make a bigger difference, if that makes sense.
No, cheers, mate.
Yeah, so we'll take a look. If you drop me a, you know, private message on the Discord or whatever, if you want to send me all your trades, I'll be happy to take a look. I can do like a short Zoom video and just run through it all, or whatever you want to do. It's up to you, mate.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Nice.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, cool. So has anyone got any final questions or anything? Because I think we're gonna finish off here now today. I think I'm gonna call it a day. End of the month. Everyone on the YouTube happy? Yep. Okay, cool. Oh, looks like a support forming on the 5-minute over there. Interesting. Alright, let's answer this final question and then we will finish off. Could you explain a wick fill candle versus rejection? I used to think if the candle closes bullish with a wick at the top, it was a wick fill. Cheers, appreciate your time. So, I mean, wick fill versus rejection. I tend to look at wick fills are likely based on different things. So let's just say, like, for example, this example here is going to be a little bit of a brief explanation. Let's just turn the music off for a minute now, because we're in the last bit. Let's just remove these and then we'll take a look. So a wick fill versus wick rejection. So this area here is a wick rejection. Reason why this is a wick rejection is because price is clearly in an uptrend. You had a resistance formed, you had a high level of resistance, right? You had support somewhere down over here, and then now you're creating a higher level of support. So when you see these wicks, right, you know these are wick rejections because the trend is bullish. So you're not really expecting these wicks to get filled. If they do, then it's what we would call impulsive sellers. So, you know, impulsive sellers jump in, but then usually what you'll find then is you get like a deeper level of support created with a further bullish candle. So that's what usually would happen in most circumstances. So if you think about it that way, this is a wick rejection. Now at the time when we created resistance, this area was a wick rejection. Reason why? Because we came to a key level, we wicked up into it, and then we started to close bearish. Now the reason I'm looking at this area as a potential wick fill is why? Because we're in an uptrend, we created support. If I'm seeing rejections to the downside, I'm seeing support being created, it makes sense that, you know, if price can't break down and the structure's bullish, then more than likely when we get more volume, we're gonna fill that. So it's kind of like this situation, right? So you know when price makes a high like this, you get a pullback, you get some support formed, you get a move up, you get another pullback, you get a support form, you get a move up. These areas here, I'll just put R and R, are these points here, right? Here and here. What do you see here? You see wicks, right? So you're going to see candles in these little resistances that are going to create little resistances, wicks to the top. Doesn't matter how big the wick is, it's still a wick, still a resistance. So if you think about it, where's the point the wick is going to get filled? Think about it. You know, as we start to break the candle bodies, we're going to then start moving into the wicks, right? So the best place, you know, in terms of a wick fill, you know, would you take a buy here to just fill that wick? No, you wouldn't. But what would you expect? Well, if we get support formed over here, this lower end, which is here, right, then you would expect a move up to that area and then the wick fill. So what could you use? You could use the wick as a potential target. So you could say, okay, well, this is resistance, but actually this is the wick. So if we do the wick fill, that could be a target for me, right? Same with here. This is where we had buys below this area. We then create a resistance here, wick rejections, pull back, further support form there, move up, wicks get filled, right? So if you look at this situation here, it's like a triangle, yeah? It's the same situation here. Resistance, pullback, support, move up, fills the wick rejections that were there previously over here. Okay, obviously when price is in momentum, you know, I'm sure you've all heard that one, when price is in momentum, wicks get filled, right? It's the same thing. This is momentum because you're creating support to continue. Sometimes it's not going to be structurally, sometimes it's literally going to be, for example, we'll just do one last example. So let's say you get a bullish candle close like this, right, wick to the bottom, and it makes a nice top wick. And usually on the smaller time frame, that's going to be some form of a resistance forming because it's left a big wick. And then let's say, for example, the next candle closes bearish like this, right? So now you're like, oh well, we could come down, but you know, how am I going to get this wick fill? This is like a 20 pip wick fill. How am I going to get this wick fill? Well, then what you'd be looking for is a further bullish candle confirmation. So let's say you get a bullish candle closing like this, right? What's that going to tell me? Well, that's going to tell me there's a higher probability for the next candle to continue moving up and fill that wick here. That's another wick fill situation. So you could argue it's a rejection. It is on the smaller time frames, but then now we're creating a support and a candle closure back in that direction, which means the next one should also continue up to fill that range. Okay. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And yeah, so that's it then, guys. We're gonna finish off there. I think pound yen at the moment looks like it's gonna potentially break that 15-minute high and continue back up. So if you go and look at the 5-minute right now, you're gonna see why that 15-minute candle closed like a weaker candle, because what you're gonna see is that we basically created a fake out situation on the 5-minute. So again, a higher level of support. So what would you say then? This 30-minute candle wick, how are we going to fill this wick on the 30-minute? What do you need to see? So this is the final thing I'll say, right? What would you need to see for this wick to get filled? What would you want to see? So you think about it right now. Some people are going to be like, oh, well, you could buy there and then just expect it to happen. But what's really going on? Let's go to our 15-minute. Okay, so for this wick to get filled, it probably makes sense for this 15-minute candle to like properly break above this previous high. That makes sense. Okay, so what would that mean then for this candle? What's going to go on in this candle for that candle to break that high, for this candle to push up to fill that wick? Then you go to your 5-minute time frame. Okay, so basically what we're saying is we create a support over here on the 5-minute. Here is your wick fill on the 30-minute. So more than likely, if this candle closes bearish and then I get another bullish 5-minute candle closure here, you know, or the next 5-minute candle starts to surpass these highs, oh, that makes sense because now we have this move to the left. This is that wick fill, right? So that's how you would go about looking at wick fills. Just go in, dissect the candle. You know, it's like a scientist, you know, each candle has its own information. So if you want to know what happened from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m., you dissect it. Oh, I can see what's happening. Oh, I can dissect even more. You know, there you go. So now the 15-minute candle is wicked down and it's breaking the high. there's a much higher probability that it's going to now start move up and fill that wick, right? So what would that mean on a 5 minute? Oh, we can see the 5 minute candle now going bullish after wicking down, and now it's trying to go bullish. So yeah, but there you go, guys. Damn, thanks for the knowledge. Never saw it that way. Yeah, that's okay. I think that's how you want to look at it. I mean, think about it logically. Here's another example. These were previous wick rejections. Here was previous wick rejections. This is your resistance. Pull back. We form support somewhere lower end here. So as we're moving up to this level, does it make sense to fill these wicks if we break through this zone? Yes, it does. These wicks are going to get filled if we're going to make. But think about it. Price makes higher highs, higher lows in an uptrend. Wick rejections are within these resistances, so they must get filled if we're going to make a new high. Think about it. So yeah, we'll leave you with that one, guys. So I think tomorrow's the last stream of the week. Obviously we're going to take Friday off. It's bank holiday. I think there's no point streaming. I'm not going to trade on Friday. Bank holiday Friday, no chance. So yeah, tomorrow's the last day of the stream for this week, and then next week will be obviously like a fresh month for April. Obviously the new month for April is tomorrow. So yeah, I think tomorrow we're gonna again take it a little bit easy, but see if we can get some solid confirmations, and then yeah, finish off the week tomorrow. So thanks very much everyone for coming on.
Just quickly, mate.
Oh, go on.
When you review the month, is that a live Zoom call, or is that recorded?
I usually just do a recording, but obviously if people want to do a group webinar, that I'm quite open to suggestions. It's just that just obviously different people all over.
Didn't know whether you record it or didn't.
No, I do record it. It's all on the database.
Okay.
You've got access to the database, don't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
Alright, cool. Alright then, see you, Liam. Thanks very much. Thanks everyone on the YouTube. No worries. Thanks everyone on the YouTube, and we'll see you tomorrow, 7 AM.